family history or genealogy is history. I've always been one of my favorite subjects in school since I was a kid. I've always loved history. It's just something fascinating about the questions and how people lived back then. So it's the same when we're doing research for our own families. It is actual history. So yes, there are rules that we should be following because you don't want to get bad information, especially if somebody goes onto your tree. That's one of the bad parts about family search. It's one big tree, and anybody with a membership can edit it. So as I mentioned in a previous video here, beware of family search and ancestry.com. Be very, very careful. That's why I prefer to put everything on Ancestry or MyHeritage, because I'm the only one who can edit it, so I don't have to have that problem. But if you are looking at family search, and there could be some really good things on family search, and you have the documents that are linked to it. So if the documents are linked to it, everything lines up, then use the information. Because you could go down a line and spend hours, if not weeks or months, following a line that isn't connected to you at all. So it will definitely save you a lot. It'll save us a lot of trouble, and it'll save anybody else who may be relying on information. Yeah, it's great finding out about family. It needs to be true. Going to just briefly go through, and this is from Wikipedia, and of course, yes, Wikipedia does have all the citations. Using a historical method and applying that to our genealogy research to make sure that we are being as accurate as possible, that we're not putting somebody on the tree just because it's cool, but because it's accurate. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that we find that's not cool. So I was just looking yesterday, found a marriage record where, and I hate that this is actually part of Mia Familia, the groom was 30, the bride was 16.
Oh, mon Dieu.
Ugh. So we're going to find things like that. So if you're going to be, and if you're interested in me helping you, you can do so. You can go, you can contact me at Epic Genealogy on here on YouTube and also on Facebook. You don't want to have to tell somebody some information that's horrible. That's bad enough. But if you don't have the information correct, whoa, that could cause some rifts in families. So let's avoid doing that.
What the hell is wrong with you? We're a family.
So the historical method and source criticism. I just want to, just go through a few examples here on the source criticism. When was the source written or unwritten produced? Okay. Where was it produced? By whom was it produced? From what pre-existing material was it produced? And in what original form was it produced? What is the evidential value of its contents? So different records have different evidentiary value. I would say looking here, Find a Grave can be a good source. It can be, but everything still needs to be verified unless you have a lot of the documentation. Yeah, this is actually the guy in the wedding. Yeah, this is what I was actually talking about. You go here to the top, and Croce Gargiano is 30. But the blushing bride is a child of only 16.
Oh my God!
So, yeah. And again, you have to verify this. So what I've been able to do, I did verify his age. So I did verify his age because I have his birth certificate. So the bride was born in 1899. He was born in 1884. So not good. So you do have to verify everything that is on here. And they do have some good documents here. So one of the things you can go through here is looking at the naturalization record. It's a government record, but just like a census record, you have to take the information on there with a grain of salt. So this is not the same Gargiano. This is actually my great-grandfather, Francesco Gargiano. And you can see here they were married May 1905, 1906. I don't know where I don't know, Rose. I don't know where I've been, and I don't know where I'm going. That's not good. that's not good. And the year that he came over was the same thing, May 1905 or May 1906. Well, what does it matter? It matters. So you could see, and then he doesn't give the full birth date for his daughters, and Katerina's, my Nona. I've seen here where whoever gave this information, so if it was my great-grandfather, or if it was the one doing the naturalization, absolutely just monumentally horrific when it comes to getting dates correct. Not good. Not good at all. Although he does have his birthday right here. So another thing to take into consideration is that if you're dealing with an immigrant, they may actually be illiterate. So, and the older the further back you get, the less likely they're going to even know their exact birth date. So that's why we have baptism records and we have birth records to confirm what they're saying. So you can see here, he probably was not literate. And he doesn't remember which year he actually came over. So that's one type of record where we're looking through when the source was written, where was it produced, by whom it was produced. So if we were to look at his actual baptism record, turns out he was actually married in 1908, not 1905 or 1906. I mean, that's really bad. And this is a really, really bad record. I probably should have pulled up one that was probably a little bit better than this. Yeah, I'm not doing too good on his baptism record, but we do have it down here. Now, what's important here is that a scribe, you have to know who is actually producing this record. This is a church record, so it's more than likely the priest together with a scribe. The priest may be utilizing a scribe to do this. More than likely, though, if you go, what I've seen you go through these records, the priest probably was the one who married the parents. And they were all married in the same church there in Cardini, Sicilia. Chances are this has a very high level of accuracy and evidentiary value as a baptism record, as the priest would have been very familiar with the couple, my great-great-grandparents, and then my great-grandfather, who was the one that was baptized here. And usually they did it back then, 1880, 81, they were doing it the same day that they were born. They weren't taking any chances there. They may not get the dates right, but they get their kids baptized. Okay, and now we have them on, this is my great-grandfather and my Zia Josie was not married yet. My Nona had already been married for a few years. So this is the 1940 census. And the thing to remember here is the information may not be given by, let's say, my great-grandfather. It could be given by a neighbor, and so they may not have been home. It might have been by one of the kids. So that's something you have to take into consideration. So the evidentiary value on a census record, I don't put as nearly as high as I would a baptism record, because the baptism record, the information is given by the parents and the priest to the scribe, who probably knows the parents and knows them very, very well. So here, it's not going to be as strong, even though it's a government document. We're looking at who is the source of the information. And here, again, knowing that my great-grandfather was probably, if we look at this, it's Brooklyn by the Piazza. Hey, that might be related to the Mets, the guy from the Mets. It is Brooklyn. But we have to consider that if they are immigrants, yeah, they may be illiterate. Well, they don't have to be immigrants to be illiterate. This is not going to be considered. I wouldn't consider a census record. It's good evidence, but it's not the strongest. There are a lot more that are a lot stronger. It's certainly going to be stronger than going over here to Find a Grave, where anybody could put that information up there. So it's stronger than Find a Grave, stronger than an obituary, but still, we have to be careful when using the information from here. So even though this is a government record, always take into consideration who is the source of the information. And we also have to look at, this is 1940, and if they're asking how long they've been in the country, it could be 40 years. I mean, just a few years before, he didn't know if it was 1905 or 1906. Definitely something to take into consideration. So it's just like what Monica said about the rules in Friends.
No, wait, guys. if we follow the rules, it's still fun and it means something.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off.
Guys, rules are good. Rules help control the fun.
So these rules are going to make it so that we save time and we don't just go off on a tangent and produce part of a tree that has got no connection whatsoever. So because I've seen where somebody, I thought in the family, had actually made a connection back to Scotland, and I looked into it and I said, well, there's no records here. What did you base this on? Oh, it was a hint. Well, it happens to be one of the most common Scottish surnames, and it was not even close to being right. So it had to be deleted. I use these whenever I'm doing. I always look at the, because I'm looking at one right now and I really want this to be right. But I see, you look at the hint and I want to be able to join this particular line to Cardini, where mia familia are from. And when you go through in the hint, it does say Cardini. The problem is, even though they're on my tree, and this couple is from Cardini, they're already on my tree. I can't connect it to Tommaso and Antonia at Spadafora. I mean, that's a Cardini. I can't actually connect this yet because I do not have a marriage record. I do not have a marriage record. So I have Tommaso's Montelapré. I have that marriage record, but he was born in Montelapré. So his parents were born in Cardini, but they were either married in Cardini or they were married in Montelapré, where Tommaso was born. But I don't have their marriage record, so I cannot add it. Trust me, once I do add that, I will be doing a video for that. So keep these rules in mind when you are doing your research. Okay, these are this is really, really important, because you always have to evaluate the evidentiary value of the evidence. Is it really credible? And these are the rules that we use to ensure that we are using the best possible evidence that is available to us. And if you'd like to help support the channel so I can do more videos more frequently like this, you can go do so in the description. You can also go to the store link, and I actually have a new, yes, I do have a new shirt available. Genealogy, can I find one normal person in this family? So that is available. So that is a way that you can support the channel so I can do more videos more frequently.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.